Miss Danreael here, and I have a word for you. Inquire God. Yes, go to God first. So the verse for this video is 2 Samuel 5:19, and it reads, "And David inquired of the Lord, saying, Shall I go up to the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them into my hand? And the Lord said unto David, Go up, for I will doubtless deliver the Philistines into thine hand." So look, this is so important because David is in battle. He's in a time where it's life or death, like he could be killed. He's in a time where his enemies are against him. He is facing adversity. He's facing opposition. They're opposing him. They want to take his life. They want to kill him. Some of us, we have people that don't like us. They will take us out if they had the chance. They're plotting against us. You know, they was in our life. They know all our information now. So this is a scary place for us. David was going through the same thing. He's faced up against his enemies. It says, "And David inquired of the Lord, saying." So David has a relationship with God. David is talking to God. He's asking God, what do I do? He's understanding that God is over him. He's understanding that God is omniscient. He's understanding that God sees his enemy's heart. God knows what his enemies are thinking and what they're going to do. David understands that. He respects God. God is supreme authority in David's life, because if you read the story of David, it always talks about how he inquired God. He understood that God got the answer. He understood that I need to go to God first. He understood that God has provision. God knows my future. God knows what's going to happen. He understood that. He respected that. This is important because this is what we need to be doing. We need to be inquiring God. Let me give you the definition of inquire. Inquire means to ask for information from someone. It means to investigate. It means to look into. Again, David inquired the Lord. So when you are going through something, you need to inquire God. You need to ask him, Lord, what is it that I need to be doing? Lord, what is ahead for me? Lord, is there anything that I'm doing that I can improve on? And then also in this verse it says, shall I go up to the Philistines? He's asking, where does he need to go? A lot of us, we just go places. We just do what we want to do. We act on feelings and impulse and how we feel. We're not even asking God, like, is this the right move for me? Should I go to this school? Should I work at this job? Should I go to this place? Should I take this vacation at this time? You got to ask God, like, what's my next move, Lord? What do I do? This is so important because God does not want you to be somewhere you're not supposed to be. There's so many times people have got caught slipping because they was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm telling you. And when you out here in this world is crazy. Get to where you going. You feel me? If you going to the store, get in and get out. Don't be sitting around too long lollygagging. You know, they've been doing crazy stuff now. Like, they'll come do this to the store or do this to a school. You don't want to be in that place if you don't have to be. You feel me? Like I said, a lot of people, they be spending too much time out. Get there and get back to where you know you safe at. Okay? Okay. And then it says, will thou deliver them into my hands? So he's asking the Lord, Lord, are you going to deliver them? Am I going to have the victory? Ask God, like, Lord, am I going to have the victory over this? Like I said, you may be going through a breakup. You may be going through adversity, discrimination. Ask the Lord, like, am I going to win in this? And then it says, and the Lord said unto David. So look, this is the part. David spoke to God. He asked him a question. He's asking him what's going on. And because he asked, and because David was righteous and he was, always doing what he's supposed to do, God answered him. He gave him an answer. God will give you an answer. A lot of us think that God don't answer us because he's not a person and we can't physically see him. God will give you an answer. He will speak to you. He speaks through his word. His word is alive. It can speak to the present moment. There's so many times I've been in the word and in the Bible, and what it's talking about happened during my day. And this is not something I planned. I could be reading something today and be reading something different tomorrow, and it's still speaking to the present day. God's word is alive. He wants you to get into your holy word, his holy word. And he wants you to understand that he will give you an answer. And if he don't give you an answer like that, he will give you a sign. God is spirit, so he can speak through people. Somebody will say something that is the answer, or you'll see something, it's the answer. God will give you an answer if you're in that posture that you want to get an answer from God, that you want to inquire of him, that you want to be living right so that he can speak to you, so he don't have to turn away from you. So look, and then when God gave him the answer, it says, I will doubtless deliver the Philistines into thine hand. So the Lord gave him the victory. And David already knew this before the battle. He already knew he was going to win before the battle. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having that advantage? Like, you already know you're going to win. That's tough. That's that confidence right there. That's that Godfidence. You gonna already know, like, yes, I'm gonna win. And your enemies probably, and people gonna be like, how do you know? You don't know you're gonna win that. And imagine just being in that place where you already know what's up. Like, you already know, yeah, I'm gonna win. God already told me. God gave me the victory. That will give you some crazy confidence. You will be having that Godfidence. You gonna know, like, yes, my God do not play about me. My God gave me the victory already. Like, that's crazy to already know you're gonna win, all because you inquired God first. So yes, this video is called Inquire God. It's so important to, like I said, go to God about what you're going through, because he got the answer. He got an answer for you, and in that answer there's peace, there's comfort, there's no anxiety, there's no fear, there's no worry, because you know what's up with God. You know what's up with you. You know what's up with y'all, because you have a relationship with the Most High God. It's so important to have a relationship with him. It's so important to be obedient to whatever God is telling you to do in your life, and do it the first time. It's so important to never make the same mistake twice. It's so important to work on your habits and your vices and the things that you're doing, because all of this matters. It's so important to treat others the way you want to be treated. It's so important to respect people. It's so important to love other people, because you never know who you're talking to or what they're going through or who they'll be. It's so important to do all of these things. It's so important to live a Christ-filled life. It's so important to live a Christ-like life. It's so important to be sober, to be celibate, to be abstinent. It's so important to get married to the right, godly, God-fearing man or woman. It's so important to honor biblical principles in your life. It's so important to love the Lord with your whole heart and fear him and trust in him. It's so important to just be who you're supposed to be who God calls you to be who you are. It's so important to walk in your purpose. It's so important to do all of these things. Yes, a lot of these things are common sense, but let me remind you, common sense is not so common, you know? It's not. So I always got to remind you. I got to keep reminding you. Yes, do what you're supposed to do so God can give you that blessing, okay? Because he got it for you. It's waiting on you. But you got to get it. You got to inquire God. Remember to ask God. Remember to go to God. Anything that happens in your days, go to God about it. You should be praying multiple times a day. You should have a active prayer life where you praying on your lunch break. You praying when you go to the bathroom. You praying at your desk. You praying when you go to school. You praying before the game. You praying at church. You praying in Bible study. You praying with your family. You praying with your sister. You praying with your mom. You praying with your dad. You praying with your friend. It's so important to have a prayer life, because prayer is direct connection to the Most High God. That is how you communicate with him. That is where you will feel him. That is where he will hear you and you will hear him. Prayer is so important. Please get a prayer life. Please know that prayer is direct communication with the Most High God. So look, I pray that this video blessed you. I love you so much. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.